evening, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome once again to the weekly WAYPN. I'm Cal.
I'm Sunny.
That was Mark, and he showed off this, which he did the other day.
Just the previous weekly WAYPN, he decided he would just pop a little post here.
Yes. So, Mark, it's garbage. I know that you're watching.
Garbage. I like the colors.
Yeah, no, it's very American football, which is what it's meant to be.
Right. Yeah, I got that. I got the vibes from that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the only thing is that it could be a little neater. Yeah. Like, take a look at the bees up here and some of those things over there. That's the only thing that I'd say about it, Mark. But I'd say colour choice is good. I would say, showing off your theme's good and getting it done quickly and ready. Yeah, that's all good.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, just a little neater. But I think that is why he gets me to do a lot of these things. He's like, I can't be stuffed. I don't have time, mate.
He tries.
He tries. Like me, I'm very trying.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's Lance.
It is Lance.
And he's got a priesthood.
Yes.
I love the fire. The fire has a very...
Should we read out the post?
Oh, yes.
2 new additions, center and right. The coven is complete.
Oh, it's a coven.
So I think, yeah, I like the fire. The fire is probably, I'd say, the thing that you did best. I'd say with this, the tide marks with the wash are a little apparent.
Yeah. I do see that, yeah.
But, I think with the red robes, they're much, much less.
I would love to see a bit more shading involved in the...
Yeah, he could bring it up a tad on
I
both
think
of those. But,
red,
I mean, they are
red
tabletop. Was... But, look, he's added ground cover here, right? And... The thing is, I still think that he wants some actual ground underneath those bits of flock, but I think flock works a lot better than static grass when you're not having something underneath it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think other than the purple having a bit of pooling with the wash, I like the metal. I think that the fire is...
The fire really looks like fire. It's very bright.
It's quite nice. I think that, these hoods have come out quite well. He's done just a bit of a wash in here to add some shadows.
Yeah, I think it could have... The features of the center lady could have been brought out a bit more because it just looks like a faceless woman. Yeah. Because she's got no eyes, no lips kind of situation.
See, the thing is, I probably would have darkened it even more if you're going for that sort of
shrouded
the
look.
sort of faceless lady. Everybody else is...
They've got definition except for her, so to say. Yeah, it could be a concept.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So let us move on to the next one, and this was the chief highlight of the last one by the looks of things.
The pizza was good. Look at it.
Yes. Oh, we had
better than your Domino's.
Yes, much better than the Domino's because we made it.
Hut.
Yes, and it was delicious.
It was delicious.
All right. So next up, we've got Calvioni.
Calvinoni with his fun guy.
Fun guy.
Mushroom creature from Dungeons and Lasers. Yeah, boy. Look at him.
So I really like the color choice. I think that he's done well with the base, making it green while this is yellow.
Yeah,
to have that contrast. But I do think that there's tide marks, yeah, a lot of pooling, I was going to say. I do think the blue against the yellow looks quite nice.
Yeah, I like that. He's a poisonous mushroom.
Yeah. I think that just... It wouldn't be as noticeable with the tide marks if, say, for example, he dry brushed or did another layer on this so that it wasn't so just two-toned, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think it's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's tabletop. It does exactly its job. But I think that both Cal and Lance have a very sort of similar problem. Just, like they're doing well, but when you're at that stage of tabletop, doing that extra step will make it pop that much more.
Yeah, so you could always go from tabletop to tabletop plus.
Yeah.
Just.
See, like with each investment that you add, right, you're going to get more returns with your first investments. Mm-hmm. And then successively after that, your returns will lower. So I think just doing that one extra step could really make these things pop.
Is that a metal sword supposed to be metal or wooden sword?
I think it's meant to be bronze-ish, but I think like the sort of the funginess has come up around it, so I'm not 100% on it either way.
Yeah, because it looks like it's got texture of wood grains. And that's why... Oh, well, let's maybe move on to the next one. We're always talking. Anyway.
Alright, so next up we've got Adam Nickel.
Is it new Adam?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
That's why he's got the hand
the
wave.
hello.
Yes.
Say hi to me. Hey ho, folks. I was given the knowledge of the group by the always lovely Dofeed. I see. It was Dofeed that brought you here.
Davith.
Yes, I know. It's a nice place to visit and lurk, so I feel better. So I feel I better contribute. Nice. Yep. Over the last week, I talked myself into sculpting a AOS Age of Sigmar, yes.
Yes, but just so you know, we will continue the tradition. Even if you're new, we will continue the tradition of mocking any acronym which nobody provides the explanation for.
Yes.
So,
any old something.
No, because old. Yeah, okay, any old something.
Any old something.
I was thinking Age of Spaghetti or something like that.
Yeah, but you're only saying that because you have context to what that is. No one would think Age of. You know?
Oh, no, what's Aeon? It's Aeon Trespass.
Yeah, Aeon Trespass.
Odyssey?
So,
Aeon Odyssey Sigma or something?
No, because we called it Australian tax offenders.
Yes, I know, but I was thinking, Aeon Odyssey.
Maybe this can be another group. We'll call it American Offset. Yeah, there you go. American Offset. O for off, S for set.
No, any old something. We'll stick with the classic.
Yes. Fen Beast for my Fimmer project. He ended up being a lot bigger than the first planned out, and much to my shame, I think I've decided to make mini Fens to go with him and the emissary.
Okay, so back in the day, there was an expansion for Warhammer, and this is Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and it was called the Isles of Albion.
Ooh.
Now, the Isles of Albion is essentially pre-Roman England. And that's where this comes from. So the Fen Beast was like this shaggy creature. Oh, you know what I might do to sort of give you an idea? I go like this.
That's a good way to do it.
Yep. And so here is the original model for it.
Citadel fine cast.
Yes, so it was not the best model in the world, but when I was young, I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!"
I think it looks pretty good.
But when you compare it to the artwork,
right,
I think the artwork of it was amazing.
It's like a swamp monster, is he?
Yeah, essentially. And so that's what Adam's making here, and that's why he's got all the fuzz and all of that. And I think it's really interesting. But I do think, unfortunately, because of how they look sort of cobbled together right now, this is a very sort of precarious stage of it. So the emissary is the person who works, who can summon the Fen Beast. And essentially there was two factions on Albion. I forgot what they were like, good and bad guys. But yeah, with this, I think we're really going to need to see some color on it. We're really going to need to see it.
But maybe we can talk about the...
Oh, here we go. So yeah, it looks way more put together here.
Well, I do feel a bit ashamed because like that moss really added to...
Oh yeah, and see, hopefully we'll see some more. Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow.
All right,
but he doesn't look very swampy.
Yeah, not as much, but let's keep going.
Oh, that angle kind of looks very swampy.
Yes. Alright, here we go.
Okay, they're the colors. Yeah, we see that. Because he was looking very brown in the first one. But that's a very nice swampy green.
Let's keep going. So I think definitely it keeps that vibe of the sort of swamp monster.
I think he's got it down pretty well.
Yeah, I think...
Wow, that looks great.
Okay.
I quite like it.
I do definitely think that you want to get yourself a light box though, because that will help you.
Because that looks very different, like this versus the final. Maybe this was a whip, and then he's showing how he came to the final.
I think it's not, because I think. Okay, hold up. That's.
See, he looks very green here.
It might just be because he's in the light in the other one. Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's see. No, I think you're right, because I think it's an oil wash. You're right.
And then he sort of builds up the greens.
No, I think he removed a lot of the oil wash.
Oh.
But yeah, so I think this is a dark emissary. So I think your dark emissary is fine, but I like this guy a lot more because he's got a lot going on. He's quite chaotic, right? But I feel like for the level of effort that you put into the sculpting, you could have put more effort into the painting of it. Because, like...
In what ways do you think you could have improved?
Alright, so, like, at the moment, now, see, as you can see, a fen beast is made up of a lot of different sort of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it also had that certain level of coherency.
Yes.
Whereas this one, I feel like it doesn't have that same level of coherency.
Yeah.
So we've got like a lot of these things sticking out and that sort of thing. And remember how you were talking about how that sort of mossy feel really added to it and that sort of thing?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it needs something like that to sort of make it feel coherent. So at the moment, it looks like a lot of things are cobbled together, right? And like it's sort of this thing that's built up from junk from the swamp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what a fen beast is, yeah. But it's lacking that level of coherence. And see, our goal is, right, to help people achieve their goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we know that Cal and Lance are tabletop, right?
Yes.
And I think...
he seems to be going for a bit more character.
Well, that's what you'd think based off how much effort he put into the sculpting. And so I think it would do him a disservice to just sort of go, all right, you know, it's fine, whatever. I think what this really wants is something coherent. Because, like, back here, where it's got all of that sort of slime and sludge and all of that all over it, right?
You could see the definition of the thing.
Sure. But see, like, it feels as if it's one coherent piece here, right?
Uh-huh.
Compared to over here. I think it's better painted over here, right? In the most technical of senses, right? But I feel like with here...
I think because the eyes are very obviously glowing and they've got the...
Yeah. And
like there's something for your eyes to focus on.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, that's probably it. The fact that there's something for your eyes to focus on. I think maybe give that same thing here, right? And look, don't be afraid to go outside of this thing's color range, right? Have it be red eyes. There's a reason why it's a classic, right?
Yeah, and it will work well with the green because it's a contrasting color.
And it's also, the only non-natural color in there.
Yeah, because this is technically an unnatural being.
Yes.
It was built by magic.
And, it's made by nature, but there's a malevolent force behind it.
Yeah.
But other than that, because, I feel like right here, when it looks like this, I feel like it's so much more coherent. And I think that's what you were saying, you have something to focus on, right? And I think that does help.
Yes.
All right, so let's move on. Anyway, Adam, I hope that helped, and I hope that you sort of see what we do here. So we've got, so I'm just going to round it out and just tell him what we do. We go, here's what you did well, why you did it well. Here's, what where you could improve and how you could improve.
Yes, correct. That is essentially what we try to do here. It's the fanciful cakes.
Yes, and this one didn't do as well as the old world one, but that's okay. But we hope that you got something out of this.
Yeah. I know we got some comments from that, which is nice.
Yes, we did.
And we got Cage with his fanciful cakes.
Cage, she just had pizza, okay? She's fed.
Cake.
I promise that I feed her.
As 10th edition approaches, I as well am starting a Tyranids army. Getting some stuff painted before the new box as 10th has me hyped. Oh, we talk about hype, didn't we? More so after playing a game. Allow me to introduce High Fleet Citrillus. A pleasant to look at and fairly quick scheme I adore. Needs some practice in edge highlighting the carapace, but I'll have plenty of bugs to get some experience. Mostly done with express paints as want to get them tabletop. Okay, quickly, I'm very happy with how those paints interact.
All right, so let's take a look.
Well, they're very neat and tidy, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're very neat and tidy. So the only issue I have with these guys, right, is I think the Cage could go for a difference of kind with these, right? So the only thing that I think that he could do different, right, is say you put on a high gloss onto that brain area.
Yeah.
And you put on a satin varnish onto the flesh and just have the carapace be matte. And my only reasons for that, right, is I think that the color schemes are good, right? There's a lot of contrast in that, but I feel like it's just missing something.
Would you think maybe a dry brush here or there?
No, because I he's using something similar to contrast paints, the express paints, and I think that they've worked well. And I think when it comes to it, that a lot of those things could interact poorly, right? For example, you see how there's some sort of tide marks there, right? But they don't look exactly like tide marks, and see that could be the sort of natural patternings that you'd get in an animal. And see, I feel like that works well for it. And you see how flat and clean
the carapace is, yeah.
And that's why I'm I feel like just that one extra thing, just push just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I guess you could go with some contrast of kind. It would help, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm not as sure about the highlights because I haven't seen highlights like that before with the edge highlighting, where it's a saturated color in a different value.
Yeah.
And I'm not against it because
I think it looks cool, yeah.
Yeah, well, nature does lots of weird things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that can be very cool. But that's the only thing because I feel like the brain part here just just that extra sort of bit.
I think you're right. Maybe some like difference in different type of texture, glossy and matte would really help it out. Yeah.
All right, so so it's Member Monday, and of course, everybody posts their stuff up rather than
making their own posts.
Yes, so we'll have a quick look at what some of the people did. So Jason Wills. Now, I thought we had Jason Wills last week. I thought he was a new member last week.
No, I don't think I remember Jason Willis posting last week, actually.
You don't?
No, I don't recall. But I do feel like he...
Because I thought he did... I thought he did the BattleTech last week here.
No, I think someone else did the BattleTechs.
Yeah, no,
oh, it is. He is him. Okay.
Yeah, so...
Okay, so I was mistaken.
Yes. So, yeah, he's done some more BattleTech stuff,
They're looking good.
So, finished up 21 mechs today, got started, and see, like, the only issue I have with this is that, you know, like, it's a comment rather than a post, and, like, we could probably see it at a larger size. It's really interesting how he's managed to get that sort of camouflage patterning on these tiny guys.
Yeah. Do you think he used something like that overpaint technique to make that camo effect?
I've got no idea, but I think it's come out well.
Or maybe he's really taken advantage of pooling with contrast paint.
Or
to
like
create
a wash
that,
or something. I'm not sure. Excuse me one moment.
Cool enough. There you go.
I just realised we were muted this whole time. So
so
I apologise for sneezing, and then I told him that it should be its own post. You said that wanted to see the daughter's progress, and what else?
That's where we stopped.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So
it's a group shot by Adam with all the rest of these guys.
So he's continuing his Albion stuff, right? And see, I really feel like it would be a lot better if we could see some of these things in a bit more detail, because like here, some of them are very difficult to see. But so I'm just going to leave those comments there, because otherwise we're really just encouraging them to post
in the reply section.
Yes. All right.
Oh yeah.
So next up we've got Stephen Collum, and so I think we actually see some more progress on this, but I absolutely love this because he's sort of showing his process. So he starts off and he's using what I call the forbidden ice cream, which looks to be some spackle.
Something's dropped.
Yes, it does seem that way. It's also called something else. I've forgotten.
Texture paste? No, a grout filler.
Grout filler, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, filler.
Grout.
Or all-purpose filler or something.
All-purpose filler, yeah.
Yeah, and then he sort of pressed things in, which is a great way of getting texture on your base with a lot more control without, spending $1 million on nonsense.
I do have a sneaking suspicion that he's going to stop there with the base.
Oh, no. He shows us a progress report a little later on.
Okay.
No, we got to skip this one. No. All right, you fine. You can read this. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Finally got to pick up the paintbrush again. Just layering down some base colors before shading and highlighting. This stage always looks messy as the edging is not crisp and some of the colors are not fully layered yet. Some painters go straight into shading and highlighting as they layer, but I find a good color layer first helps with the shading and highlighting. It also helps me find bits of adhesive. No. How do I read that? A heavy mist. Or I think he meant to say bits I have missed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or not really noticed on the model and need to think about colors, etc. You can start seeing army consistency too and make early decisions to change or add colors that don't work. I do like his thought processes there.
Yeah, I really see, and that's what I really love about WAYPN, where you get to see the works in progress, where you get to see people progress, where you get to see that sort of feeling, right? But yeah, so...
Well, the colors are looking very solid, Peter.
Yes.
Mr. Pete.
Peter.
It looking solid.
Alright, let's take a look at them and go into a bit more detail.
I do like the colors.
Yes, you have said this more than once.
He's gone for like the pastel version of the Egyptian colors. Like I can see that he's going for that classic pharaoh. What's his name? Tut. Yes, King Tut. He's got that iconic ultramarine blue and gold coffin.
No, it's not ultramarine, is it? Because ultramarine's got a bit of purple in it. It's more like...
it's a very strong blue. You could say it's like a deep cobalt, but I think it's an ultramarine. But he's gone for like that, but pastel version.
Well, see, usually what I'm used to is like more like this, but a bit deeper, with the aqua.
Yeah.
Usually it's more like a teal and a gold.
Yes.
That's what I usually see with that.
Yeah, with that. But yeah, I would. You're probably right on that. But yes, this is obviously he's trying to go for the cute look to match the vibe, so he's gone with the pastel tones.
Yeah, and I've noticed that each time we've seen them, the bone has gone up in a value again. Like, the bone just keeps raising in value again and again and again.
I wonder if he's doing it on purpose to make it look more cartoony.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it looks good. I
want it.
Yes, I know you want it. But are you going to play it? Hey, there we go. Jason actually
made a post.
Yes, hooray.
Today for Father's Day, I was given the gift of alone time and not disturbed. With this time, I caught up with my Highlander build and knocked out 21 mechs in 5 hours and 15 minutes. That's pretty fast, my man. Was mostly almost a full day's worth of work. Still have another 15 to 20 to do. But they are back burner stuff for now. Happy Father's Day to all my fellow dads out there.
Alright, let's take a look. So I think, this is the one we looked at before, but yes, this is more what I was looking for because we can see more of the sort of patterning that he's done. You know what I think he might have done is sponging.
Maybe.
But so I think that camo is what he's done just fantastically. Just like... I can't have a go at it at all. Because,
I think it looked really good from far, actually.
Yeah, and nice. I think it looks good close up as well. Like there's absolutely zero wrong with it. I like it. The red, I feel like it might be because he's trying for a certain clan or sphere or whatever sort of team it is with that red, but I feel like that red is quite muted, and that very well could be a deliberate choice. But I like I
was thinking the same. Like maybe he could up the saturation of the red just to give something to pop. But like I feel he might be right because he's going for that sort of army aesthetic. Like I'm trying to hide. If I'm out there with like bright air, the A word, bright brightly colored little red stuff, I'm attracting attention. So
exactly.
You could be going along those lines. So I guess I can't give you a hard time on that.
But I do think that if you're going to do this sort of thing, do up your basing, my man. And like at the very least, make sure that your bases are all clean. Like this might be a whip, to be fair, a work in progress, but I really like this stuff.
This is nice.
Yeah, no, I think that it looks absolutely fantastic. I love the way that he's done things. And like when you're talking about color choice as the thing that you're having a go at, like that's pretty low down on the scale. And like obviously I'm always a basing sort of guy, but I think he did really well. And always appreciate a nice backdrop.
Yes.
So that we can actually
He did put the paper, see?
Yeah, and see, like, you've got that over there, and, like, that's fine, because it doesn't interfere with this, and, like, we can actually see the things. So, yeah, I think you did really well, Jason.
Yeah.
Like, color choice, basing.
Yeah. But I do wonder if he could improve on the transparency of the yellow visor a bit. But I don't know.
No, I felt like if you were going with that, I'd feel like you go into a gold and make it brighter to sort of have it that, there's certain parts of the mech which you can't stop from being bright.
Right.
Like everything else is dull and muted and you're sort of like, I'm camouflaged and such, right?
Okay,
but that one thing you can't. You ready to
Yes. I've been oh wow.
Okay, how about I do this one?
Yeah, okay.
I've been feeling a little overwhelmed by hobby options recently. Too many different things I feel I should be doing. Yes, that's all of us. I've gotten to keep up with painting. I've Aeon Trespassed. I should be playing through the game. Next big Kingdom Death expansion arrives in August. Don't say that. I'm not prepared. And I finished the painting for the existing expansions. A big foreground box of terrain arrived 2 weeks ago. I need it done as a part of my Marvel hobby project. I've entered a competition that ends soon. Diablo 4 is out. And I love it, and I want to experience it all. Along with the new seasonal content lands in a couple of weeks. I really could do with another... No.
Did you say another goal?
No. We're not going to talk about that one. Anyone want to go and do something in a... Oh, no. Joseph is trying to get us into trouble because he knows that we have to read this. Along with playing Diablo 1, I did get some hobby things done this week that I can cross off my list, which alleviates some of that pressure. I might even paint something this week. Who knows? Anyway, I got the South Point view from Foregrounds this week. I started Thursday evening and finished Saturday evening. It was one hell of a kit. So many parts, so much detail. 38 centimeters tall. Feels bigger than that sounds. That sounds pretty big. It's
a big building.
It's a big building. Let's just say if you said 38 centimeters to a lady, they'd be...
We're not interested.
It's...
Just a tip, if it's a bit extreme in the horizontal or the vertical, okay.
Who has a horizontal 30... Never mind. Let's not go there.
It's not fun, just saying.
Anyway.
Not fun.
So this is far more a true model kit than anything else MDF I've built before. Ooh, yeah, at £130 it was too rich for my blood, but I won a £100 voucher from them and needed a large scale piece of terrain, so why not? Yeah, £30 for that is great value. But yeah, I'd say for 130 it would be a bit much. So I
think a laser cut piece, is it?
Yeah, and I think it comes pre-painted.
Well, it does look nice.
Yeah, I think it's come together well. But this is what I love seeing. I love seeing, all of these things together and sort of... Oh, no, it didn't come pre-painted. He painted it.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
I do like how he put the markings. It kind of makes it look like, renovations.
I think those markings are just a connection
No,
point.
no, not the markings. Like, you see he written O2 above the wall and everything.
Where
There. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. So level 2, yeah.
It kind of makes it feel like, renovation notes.
I see. But yeah, no, it seems like he painted it up and it came together quite well. I just feel like these, like, they could be red or something. Like, it feels
like
quite
a brick.
flat. Yeah, it just feels a bit flat.
I like
the white
it.
looks nice, but
I like it just the way it is, actually.
You like it the way it is?
I like it the way it is. I think if you added the red, it will really take attention away from that white, which is the key feature.
Maybe.
I would say. But I saw this, and the thing that came into my mind when I saw the roads, I was like, choo choo. But it was like, wait, no, this is not railway tracks. This is a road.
I'm glad that you're with us. Oh, and so
yes,
right next
soda
to
pop
us,
cans.
we have a whole lot of things that are painted up, but we didn't actually get to painting them today. We gave a painting lesson to someone, and
I had fun.
Yes, and that's the main thing.
And I want to show off my progress on Mr. Baldy Man. I think you guys will like it. Oh, yeah,
but we didn't get that much actual painting in, so I'd like to get some more painting in with us tomorrow.
Yeah, I do feel I could have done more with Baldy, because I think I went through his coat fairly quickly. I felt I could have done more. But yeah. Anyhow, we've got Mr. Stephen McCullum with the progress of another creature.
So, paint and take chaotic good coffee comics games.
No, yeah, I thought coffee as well, because it looks very coffee. Look at it, very coffee wolf.
But once again, just getting that basing in, just putting that wash in, just getting things prepped. But it is always good to see those progress. And
I'm sorry. So just one point. I just realized it's an owl bear.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just a bear.
Well, I mean, that is part of it. Oh, okay, yes. And what I liked about this guy, right, is when I saw him, right, when we scroll up, he's got a buddy. It's like...
best pond friends is what I said.
So... From my pond to your pond, because they always say from across the pond with the British people.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I feel like I've heard it, but I don't really know what it means, I think.
Well, see, I think Lance is actually American, and so they'll say across the pond.
Yeah.
As if it is in the ocean.
You know what it has a very watercolor feel to it.
Oh, I realised what it's like. It's like the Paddington Bear.
Sylvanian house.
No, it's like... Oh, yeah, no, you're right. It does. It is a little Sylvanian.
It's one of those old English cartoon TV. It's got that vibe.
Oh, Animals of Farthing Wood sort of thing, where he's just like... Well, hello, I'm Mr. Frog, and here's my friend Mr. Toad.
And then they'll be talking about manners or something.
Yes, it's like, we can't have crumpets this hour.
Well, it is not appropriate. And then the girl goes, I'll do whatever I want. And then there'll be a lesson about how you can't do whatever you want. Or something like that.
She had crumpets, and now there's ants everywhere.
Oh, no!
But you eat ants. Well, yes, I'll eat the ants and fix your mistake, woman.
It's not what they say. They would never say such things.
But
I love his buddy. His buddy's got a pimple on his nose.
I actually don't have any criticism for these because, I absolutely love the style of it.
And I love the water base, honey. Check it out.
Yeah, it looks quite nice. And the other thing is, right, he's got some mud here, right? And, he's got levels to it.
Yeah,
so there's a little raised area.
I will say, Lance, I think you have really improved in your basing skills.
Yes. Because, this, right, it's not over the top. But it works.
I do like the eyes as well.
But yeah, I think that the eyes look good nice as well. Yeah, Because I know what Lance is going for. I know that Lance is going for tabletop, and like, there's nothing that can really be improved here without stepping up a level, I feel. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's pretty stepped up in my... I think maybe the shield. I'm not sure.
I'm not
sure what kind of shield.
Because if he starts working more on that, it's going to take away from that sort of animals of farthing wood, you know, the
look. Yes, yeah. It's got a good cohesion to it. It's very nice, very clean. But I wanted to end it off with, let me do it for you.
Stop it.
Kirby.
Get out. Kirby. All right, so Joe R. Sutton has been working more on some orcs. So something different. So, after seeing the first big orc of my 30k Horus Heresy army, I've gotten on with the next two. These two are going to be Leviathan Proxy. So, I'm building these. I did buy one Leviathan kit and a Death Dread. I started making a hand for one. It turns out to be for the second one, and then started building the legs and the base for the first one. As you can see, I built them totally custom. Just follow the pictures as I tend to get in the zone and crack on with them. Yeah, totally, I get that. And then I find it hard to get in the zone, so once I get there I start cracking on. I hope you enjoy this, and sorry for so many pictures. Don't apologize for pictures. We love pictures. So he made that hand there. That's one of his hands, so he's got a drill in the middle of the stick. And so he made this leg. So he's doing a lot of custom bits. I think there might be a bit too much cutting and roughness. It is an orc piece.
I think it adds character, honestly.
I like the posing here. I think that all of the terrain at the bottom is looking good for the basing.
Is he another war boss?
Yeah, I think he might be a Death Dread, which is essentially their version of a dreadnought.
Copy the humans.
Yes. So, yeah, he's just showing off some more pictures of the different angles.
Very nice.
And then here it is, you know, evolving essentially.
I like the scuff marks. I quite like what you've done there. A little shaving here and there. It's nice.
Yeah.
Very bashy.
Yes, of course. Oh.
Ooh, we've got
Look at that gun. That is the most orky thing ever.
But I love what he's done with painted up the orc.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
That's beautiful. I really like that.
I feel like there's so much to talk about here.
I like the industrial markings. I feel like this, like, I know that you're sort of going for that sort of muzzle burn look right here.
Because, like, with some muzzle burn will have a rainbow look to them.
Yeah, we'll see, like, right there, I feel like the muzzle burn looks good, but with that sort of area, it's just a bit too intense.
I agree.
Because, like, see the sort of, like, it's... I wouldn't even call that cobalt blue. What would you call that?
It's a very indigo color, actually.
Yeah.
It's indigo.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, that's very nice. I like all the little scuff marks.
I think he's painted the orc himself very well. Look at the shadow and the highlighting.
Yeah,
very well done.
I feel like he's way better than this guy over here, actually. I feel like this guy, you know, well outdoes that guy.
It's very colorful, but it's also very cohesive.
Yeah, yeah. So, actually, you know, I think this would be a good object lesson for Adam. Was it Adam who made the Fen Beast?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, you see there's metal and there's scrap and there's stuff everywhere, right? But there's that focal point for you, which you can sort of push towards, you know? And so we see him start on this next one. Oh, some great use of plasticard there. And then
nice.
You see his hand. Yeah, I think I might actually take back my comment with the damage there, because I feel like the damage has come together.
It's very good, I think.
Well, some of it I like, some of it I don't like. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here with the
sort
of whitishness.
Well, I'm sure it's gonna paint over it. It's probably some sort of putty such thing.
What's going on here with this head?
I don't know. Try to give himself
cool. Oh. So he's sort of like within that sort of thing.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah?
But I do think that the metal is looking very aluminium foil.
Well, I think that we're going to see some more work on it. So he's just sort of matching it up to the other one.
Plastic gun.
Yes,
torpedo.
The most orky weapon.
Oh, I love this rusted up
no!
fella.
You need to wear gloves, my dude. Oh, look at that. Oh.
It's alright. The painter's folly.
The painter's folly. Well, I've literally got paint on my hands right now. I can't really compare, can I? But I do like how he's gone for that brass look to have that.
You're really good with this stuff, man. Like, the orcs might be your new specialty.
Well, I think this guy's done much better than this one.
Oh, no. I think they're both very nice.
I'm not saying that it's not nice. It's just... Oh, okay. So he's doing up more with it? Is it
I have no idea.
One? Yes, he is. So that was a work in progress. And then we see it up here. So that must be his underlayer. And he's going to sort of bring out chipping maybe. Yeah, that looks to be what he's sort of doing.
Oh, dude.
Now that's...
Fantastic.
That's looking a lot better.
Oh, look at that.
So I don't know. I don't know what this symbol is. It's probably some, imperial symbol, and he's
just go like no Imperials. No Imperials.
Yeah, no, that looks fantastic. That looks way better. But I do think once again you've gone overboard with the muzzles, but I think that's the same guy from before. It is. But I think that there's a lot of things being added. Let's see. There's even more.
With orcs, you can't. Too much is never enough.
So it seems like this is where he got to this week, and now he's sort of adding the arm to this guy. So paint job wise, I like this guy way better than I like this guy. I think that the muzzle burns, like, it's a bit over the top, and like not orky, stupid amounts of blood cross out your enemy symbol over the top. I think like over the top as in doesn't work. But honey, you've gone into your stoning.
I am trying to see. I don't think I don't agree with anything you said.
You don't agree?
No. I think the muzzle... Okay, maybe he's going for muzzle burn. I'm not sure. But I think as a... Overall, it doesn't really take attention away from the orc or the key features of the model. So I'm not upset by it.
But I honestly think that this guy looks better than the other two. I really like...
I do think the orc is definitely better painted than the first orc, but...
I think
they've all got their key.
I think it's also because, see this bit underneath here, which is sort of that pale green. I think if that was like
the metal,
color,
steel.
I think it would like improve that paint job there just by pure contrast.
Yeah, because it does look a bit more like plastic toy rather than like look at all this big mecha thing I've built from all these scrap bits.
Yeah, I'd agree. And like, it is an intense creation. It is...
Very much so, yes.
Like, this is why we love WAYPN, because like some people, right, they get really into it and they're just like, here's my process,
and this is like, okay, 2 likes.
But I loved going into that and sort of going on that journey and seeing where it led you and that sort of thing. So like for me, that's the kind of thing that I love, seeing people's process, right? Because you sort of see how he goes back and forth with things, right? And I think for a lot of people, what happens is they go, all right, I've done this. I've stuffed this thing up. That's it. It's done.
Yeah,
I'm over.
And I think that's why, again, work in progress is so important.
Yeah,
because people can see exactly how much work goes into something.
And like,
they can have greater appreciation for the work.
And like, okay, so I'm just going to go back to him for a hot minute. But imagine, not this picture, but there's more than one picture. Yeah, no, not that one. Imagine you just saw, I think it's coming up. So, is it, yeah, I think it's that guy. Where you just see the solo picture of that guy before. Yeah, so you just see this guy, right, and like you see some detail shots where he's done this and that sort of thing. You'd have no idea the level of work that he's put into this guy.
Yes.
And that's why I think those work in progress shots are so important. And that's why I try and sort of show my journey as I go along. I'm just like, all right, so I did some of this today, I did some of that the other day, and all this sort of thing. And people like sort of go, oh, it's a process. Because, yeah, like, for example, these guys. These guys are not actually finished at the moment. But that's because I started on the next lot the very next day, and I had to restart them. And, well, you've seen some more. So, because you said that you want to actually criticize some of my stuff, and I think some of the models in here are actually finished without basing.
I obviously think they came out really nice.
All right, should I read this part out?
If you like, yeah.
It's Whip Wednesday, so I've been working at these away for a while. Hopefully by the time I post these up, they'll all actually be be finished and working on the video. They are for Bushido. They've got a lot of detail in these tiny guys. For those familiar with Warhammer 40k, they're about the size of Grot/Gretchen, but with probably 3 times the level of detail. First time to someone out-detailed James' workshop. I don't make many mistakes.
No, I sometimes I make mistakes, but not very often.
Alright, so do you want to give critiques on...
I do like your goblin shaman, but I think the red...
Yeah.
Maybe in the picture it just looks very much like he's blood coated rather than it's actually glow coming from the stone in his hand. I think it could use a bit more brightness at the stone itself to make it look more like a glow.
What does the gremlin speaks mean?
I don't know. Thought it was a gremlin and he speaks.
Okay.
This one I think is one of your best pieces because of the hat. You did the verdigris with the tin hat and the gold work on the dragon guy. And this guy's very nice as well.
I think I've got some... I think this guy's not finished, but...
I'd love the freehand on that shield. I know you weren't very happy with it, but I think it's very goblin.
Yeah, so here's the rest of the goblin shaman.
That's very nice. Yeah.
So I just wanted to... So you see a bit of the glow around, but it's quite difficult to get glow with the way that he's positioned because it's all sort of front on.
Humped over as well. So.
Yeah. So, like, that glow's quite difficult.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think I should probably increase the contrast.
Yeah, because... Yeah. And this guy is very neat. Look at him. It's very nice. I think you've done the green very nicely. They have a very sort of Hulk green look, which is quite nice.
I guess.
Yeah, and, like, look at that. Look at that. The metal work is excellent, as always.
But, yeah. All right. So, let us move on. But yeah, so one of the things... So do you want to explain why you're actually commenting on stuff that I've done?
I think because we're also not subject to feedback ourselves.
Well, we are subject to feedback, but...
we don't get much feedback on our work, so we're going to have to do it to ourselves.
Well, yes. Well, that is my one. So, next up...
look, it's Carrie Hughes and...
Yes, another lady for you, honey.
Oh!
I think it's a lady.
Right?
Yeah, Carrie.
We can think... I believe it is. Carrie's a woman.
We'll pretend. We'll pretend.
Still slowly chipping away at my cruel boys army. I'm for sure learning my lesson of doing a 30 model batch paint.
So I think that's probably a decent number. 30 30 models.
I think she's got a good amount of detailing on him.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to zoom in on that guy. See, I can see why you feel like it's too much, but I think 30 models in a batch is probably a good number. I want to know what's going on with the green stuff up here with this little mountain that's
They're making some sort of little pebble shrine.
I don't know. But alright, let's take a look here.
Wow.
Because that is a very good shot for one without a background. But yeah, good detail work. I think that the greens come up well.
I'm not very understand why. I've seen this a lot in other paint jobs, but that particular shield is always red, and I'm not very sure why.
I think it's just the sort of default shield color with those guys.
Oh. Yeah, I just always felt like it didn't feel very shieldy. It doesn't quite have the... takes away, so it makes it look very plastic in my opinion. I know that it's not it's a specific color choice. I've seen a lot of other paint jobs that use that color choice for the shield, this particular shield. I just never really understood it. But yeah, please continue.
So I think that like all of the center of the model looks very cohesive. I like this. I think that you could increase the brightness or darken the shadows.
I think definitely darken the shadows, yeah.
With the weapon a lot. Just because that's how metals are. They're either like very dark or very bright.
And in both of that in the same situation.
Yes, that's correct. What I'm saying. You know, like with non-metallic metals, like you saw mine when I had it before, it went from very dark to very bright quickly and then back to dark again.
That's correct.
Yeah, but I think like it's a really solid paint job, and obviously it's a work in progress. It's not finished, but I think like there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, right? And like it's moving in the right direction. And yeah, and of course you're always happy to see another lady on the forums.
Correct.
I think she might be a bit far away for you to get in a painting session with her. Alright, so next up we've got Lance, and he's doing an obsidian monolith and plans on adding some foliage for his tree here.
Is this a tree he made himself?
Yes.
Yes, I'm very sure he must have used twigs from his garden or out and about.
I'm not sure how he made it, but it looks quite nice, and I do remember seeing this finished up a little later on.
Okay, we'll take a look then.
Next up we have Stephen, and I think he had a bit of a kerfuffle before because he shared it from a private group, and it's like, and like he's not receiving as much love, and I'm like, you like people can't see it.
I like that he's done a little bit of a murder scene here with the squirrel.
So getting ready to put Ken's team to the test. A star player as small as
an acorn can move orc mountains. Look out, mate. I'm nuts.
So let's take a look at it. So I think a lot of people didn't actually notice that the acorn is the feature here. I think this shot would have been better for him as the sort of feature shot, because you get to see more of acorn in it. Because I think before, like, it might be a work in progress though, because we saw that blood before, but
I wonder if this is how it started out, and then after that it was the blood added on top.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It looks like. Yeah. I think the thing is, like, that would have looked very good if it was this side shot, but just imagine taking maybe 15-20 degrees closer to that side so you can see the blood, but you can also sort of see the sort of squirreliness of it.
Yeah.
Because I
did get a bit confused.
Here, it doesn't look as clear as to what's going on.
I do think that the metal could, like with Carrie's one, have more dark spots.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think like that's the only thing. Like, I feel like if acorn was maybe cut and put to this position back here, I think maybe that would, have a better sort of view. I think that could really help improve it.
Maybe you could take another picture with a much more plain black background so we can actually see what's going on properly, because it is quite noisy looking. Can't tell too much what's going on here.
Well, hopefully we'll see a progress report and we'll see how things have improved.
Yeah, and I do think the blue could use more shading as well.
Yeah, I can see why he didn't put the shading in though, because it's sort of it's sort of like his enemy's model.
Now things have taken a turn.
Okay.
I really wanted to make some swampy dwellers for my Fimir project, as buying an actual fen beast from years back was going to be too much. I decided to make my own. I enjoyed it that much that I decided to tap into the part of my brain that thinks it's still 1990 and make a unit for fen slow with a heavy emphasis of late 80s realm of chaos.
So, I can 100% get that idea, and I think even some people who weren't born in the 90s can get that idea.
Yeah.
So let's take a look, and I wonder if I have a feeling that we're going to come to similar conclusions that we did to before. So like this, a lot of stuff going on like before, so I think this is that same guy from before we see more done up. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's that guy, more done up, right?
Do you think?
Yeah, 100%, because you got that big spear thrown.
But that spear has been there in the past picture as well.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's that same guy, and like he's just a bit more done up. But I feel like those glowing eyes would really help it, like when he had with that shot before. So here are some sort of swamp creatures. I like this. I like how it's sort of a bit all over the place. It feels like something that's dredged up, right? I guess this is its front-facing way. Excuse me, can you take over for a minute while...
We had to make another sneeze.
Yes, but this time we remembered to unmute.
Yes, correct. So he is looking quite cohesive, these other guys.
Yes, I think that these guys look a lot more cohesive than the previous one. And they look like they do...
look chaotic, but
yeah,
but they've got some, like I think they've got clear signs of like what this part is, what that part is.
Like they've got some character to them, and like rather than 80s realm of chaos, it more reminds me of like those really old horror movies. And I think, oh no, what has happened here?
Blurry picture.
But yeah, I think definitely. What you need to do is set up a light box.
Mm-hmm. Or just a spot where you can just put a white piece of paper.
When we finish this, let's send that short on how to take pictures of miniatures. But I definitely think, like, if you're going to have it like this, if you want that green and you want the saturated green as the eyes, have that glow effect. Have something.
Yeah, he's got to put like a white. And then you could use like Tesseract glow in it on top of that if you want.
Yeah, no, but I mean like, if you're going to do that, I'd radiate it out from there. Just like a dry brush of it, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but you can't use that same green because it'll just blend in. You have to use a bit of that white.
Yes, I understand. But what I'm saying is like, if he wants to use like a sort of saturated green to have it animated... I'm saying like it'd have to have a glow effect. If you want to use just red, I think red is fine.
Yeah, I mean that what he has to do when you try to radiate the color out.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. Ooh.
So next up we've got
Cien with his orb.
Mm-hmm.
Last part of the week, I'm off to Italy tomorrow. Finally found a res orb from an old model and kit bashed and glued and pinned the bugger onto the Scorpec destroyer's arm. Progress! And I have begun a kit bash lich guard retinue for a soon to begin Nemesaw Zandrek. Many words.
Yes, yeah. I've been enjoying watching you just go.
How
That's
to
a made
read.
up word. All words are made up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know some of these words.
Yeah.
And Vargard, which made from
An amalgamation of kit parts.
Yes, many words.
Alright, so let's take a look. I think this guy has been slowly evolving for like the past month. And it looks like these guys are even made from some different parts of different models.
I do like these Necrons.
Yeah, it looks like they're coming together. And like, it is just, showing off a kit bash and that sort of thing. But all progress is good progress.
Yes, correct.
So, next up,
we've got your post.
And so, essentially what I just wanted to say with this, right, is... look, everybody makes mistakes, and
sometimes you need to make an overhaul.
Yeah, and like sometimes you need to go back, right? But like one of the things I really like about Brushstrokes is like in every video he goes, "Don't worry, we can just tidy that up later." In every single video that he has, right?
Yes, correct.
And I feel like for a lot of people, they feel as if a mistake is sort of
wrong. Yeah, you can't come back from it.
Yeah, and that's not it at all. So when we were teaching today, like the person I was teaching just kept coming back for approval and see, like I said, I feel like, and I made a hand gesture of sort of down, all of the fingers pointing down, and feel like you're very down on yourself, like. I'm not here to judge you or your painting. My goal is to help you,
achieve what you want, your goal, your standard.
And see, that's what we're here to do, like with you guys, right? And see, for all of the best painters I've ever seen, right, they're just like, mistakes happen. And when you paint 1,000 models, right, you're going to be like, yeah, of course mistakes happen. You got to get over it, right? If you fixate on that little thing, right, you're not going to progress. And the thing is that perfect is the enemy of the good.
Yes, this is true.
And yeah, I really loved seeing people's comments. Davith, James, Brushstroke, everybody commenting there. And speaking of Brushstroke...
Swimsuit number yellow and white. I don't know which one to choose.
So, he said there's still 10 minutes left of Whip Wednesday, so here's 2 colour testers, right? Now, when we took a look at this, also, I really like the way that Facebook does this. You've got to give props when they actually do something right. It's
Correct.
not often...
The collaging thing that they do.
Yeah. So, I really... like how this yellow pops. I don't know what it is about it because the yellow and the white are so similar with their values, right? Like you see that little highlight there and along there. It's just, it feels, and like the darks around here feel so much sort of poppier.
It's just very subtle. Like you just got like just slightly darker, a desaturated yellow, and a very sort of bright yellow, and then you just do a little bit of each.
I think like around the nails where he's done the washing and brought the thing up and all of that sort of jazz, right? And like I come over to here and like it is there with the white, right? But see, the white is just so overpowering. But the other thing I think about is this just the camera, because you know how the camera works and how it can warp things and all of that sort of jazz. But white is such a nightmare, and I don't know. So he's chosen these 2 things as what he's going to do with the Leviathan box set.
Well, to be fair, both are difficult colors, yellow and white.
Yes, yeah, and see, like, that's why I'm like,
So
he's a madman.
It's a pain. It's a pain either way.
But for me, I like this one better because you've got darker darks and brighter brights.
I can't choose. Honestly, I just love both of them. It just the colors.
Whereas this, right, I feel like the shadows almost aren't shadows. Like, along here, I thought that was almost a natural shadow instead of painted one. Right there. And like, see that white is just so hard. And
he's done a great job with the white.
But one of the things that I do like is I feel like his metal's a lot different this time around. See how it's sort of got that sort of brassy feel to it? Mm-hmm. Instead of the sort of like this, I don't mind with the steel because it's going to be very sort of flat and like it's great contrast to that, right? But you notice how brushstroke sort of has that very sort of flat.
Yeah, it's true.
And like, I think it works really well with his style with the like super intense edge highlights everywhere. And you know, those shadows in the right spots and then, you know, pick up. But like, then when you come to these flat surfaces, there's not that gradation. It's just flat. Whoosh. And like, I feel like...
It just makes it look very clean and pleasing to the eye.
Yeah. And see, like, I guess that's one of the reasons why, like, when I see this white, I think white is just such a hard color, and I feel like maybe that's why it doesn't come out as well as the yellow. But I can't know, like, because I like both of them. I really
love
do.
both of them. It's very difficult
to choose. But I think
choose.
that this one, for me, just comes out so much better. Which one do you prefer?
I can't tell. I think I guess I'm going with yellow as well because I can see what you mean by the contrast there with the silver and the yellow. It pops.
Yeah.
You know? Nothing wrong with the white. I think the white is, like you said, very difficult to achieve, and he's achieved it very well.
And like
very well.
And the other thing I don't know is it the camera playing funny buggers with him as well? But I love the way you did the metal on that. The metal is
very nice.
I think a big improvement. Oh, it's just a big bear, you know.
It's not an owl bear?
No, it's just an average old bear. So we're up to 84 now. So he's 16 away from his goal.
Nice. It's not going to be long now. It's not going to be long now.
And he's going to achieve that before the end of his year.
I say everything's great with this bear except for the mouth.
Yeah, the mouth.
He looks like he's been chewing on ice cream.
You know what, though? I think that's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Because just do the opposite of what you usually do and just pull some wash in the mouth.
Oh, yeah. And maybe a little bit of cleanup with the black on the overspill. I think that is a bit of overspill.
Because you just do that right and see if there's any red with the teeth. You know, you're just like...
He's just eating something.
Yeah. But I feel like this flock is sort of his replacement to the static grass. I still think that you need to put some ground cover there before... Actually... You know who I think he could really learn from?
Who?
Who we've had...
Lance?
No, he's...
No, wait,
he's
that
new.
was Lance.
He's new. Yeah. So, Stephen. So, he does this, right? So, just do this and put some sand over that.
Yeah.
And then paint it brown and then put your stuff on it. And it is going to look 1,000 times better because, like, honestly... Like, I think that a lot of his stuff, like, it's good, it's fine, right? And see, the way all of this looks, just imagine if there was a bit of undulation.
Yeah, definitely.
And, like, and if that was just a bit sunken in, you'd get this feel of this bear is huge and it is going to mess you up. But you know one of the other things that I'm really impressed with? Mm? The eyes.
Oh, yes.
The eyes are really nice.
Yes, they are.
You know?
Oh, but I realized something. Bears don't actually have that. They don't have the iris and the pupil. They're usually just all black.
It doesn't matter. It's verisimilitude. It works. You know? Like, that the way that it's dotted, it gives directionality.
The eyes. This is true, yeah.
It's...
I think, yes, you've got a point there, but I still stand by the fact that bears don't have eyes that look like that. They're just pure black.
It's all about verisimilitude. It's all about,
Look, Lance has done
yes.
a little scene here.
Yes, okay. So the black obelisk is done. Kind of funny. I already know some of what I would do differently. Oi! Remember to count this one as one when you're counting your things. So this is 85. Rounder, irregular corners, more of undercut on some of the pieces, laying and creating depressions. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about with using, was it Adams? No, it wasn't Adams. Who was it that we were? Stevens, that we were looking at before. Well, that's a depressing thought. Overall, it will work as intended. Tips for those that might have access to honeysuckle bush. At dead ends make great natural trees. So we don't have a honeysuckle bush in Australia, but there is something called salt bush, which apparently makes great trees. Might have and I cut some leaves, have them in my garage to rid them of insects and dry some more. Coat them in some Mod Podge and paint them. Almost free tree.
Nice.
But yeah, let's take a look. So I think it's a really nice little piece. I like it.
I like it very
and
much.
see with all of those little undulations and all of it, like how much more real does this little place feel?
It does feel pretty real.
Like it's
look, he's shrouded by the tree and he's walking towards the obelisk.
Yes, he's
to investigate.
That's why he cut out his arm. He's like, I know what my profession is this time round. Remember how he's got the whip and the
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the tree looks great. I really like all of these undulate. I think it really does come out. I think
it's like a nice little autumn scene.
Yeah, and see, I feel like he's not giving himself enough credit with how those undulations come out, because I think it comes out great. I think, and like that's what I was always talking about with his bases in the first place. And when you have it here, like it shows how much you can do it, and I think it really does come out. I just love it. I love everything about this.
There's a comforting feel about this scene here.
Yeah, like it's ironic. This is like black obelisks are usually assigned to inspire dread, but like here it's just like, oh, this looks...
Look at my Zen garden.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this seems like a nice place to just have a kip, eh?
Yes, and next thing you know, the obelisk goes and boom.
Yeah.
And then next thing you're cursed.
All of the monkeys fighting one another, you know?
This is true.
So the bones thrown in the air.
And then the guy would be like, hey, you're disturbing me nap.
No. But yeah, Lance, absolutely fantastic. I love it. I love this one.
I think it was great.
I think this is probably one of your best. All right, and I think this is me, and
yeah, you're the last one.
Yep. So I'll get you to comment on this one, and what I will say with this one is this is why I was a bit delayed with the goblins. So I had to clean these guys up and do them again because I really liked the shark skin, but I wanted to add a blue tint to them. But when I added the blue tint, me and Sunny had a nap. And we napped for a little too long. And
then it cracked in the heater.
Because I'm using oils with this, which is a bit new for me.
So I know the process that you've done with the Xenotol Prime oil wash, remove the excess of oil wash.
You've got to remind them that there's a gloss varnish in between.
Right. Okay, there's a gloss varnish in between, and then
otherwise the oil wouldn't work properly.
Okay. And then he's done the tint of the blue on top with oil as well, paint. And so I do really love the flesh.
Yeah.
The flesh has come out. I actually thought that the little pointers. So I don't know if it's safe for me to say nipples, but
yeah, no, I think it's
yeah,
fine.
the nipples are like, oh, it looks a little too pink and like human there. But I was like, you know what? It is a humanoid.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
and see, like that's why I was like, well, he's a shark, but he's a human, but also.
Something's happening here.
Yeah.
Something's happening here.
Something ain't right.
Something ain't right. And I think it's just like, you've got a good mix of the animal and the human here.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Well,
and I like his pants.
Yeah, I think his pants.
He's got his sailor's pants on.
What did you think of this lady here? Obviously, she's not finished, but
I think you got her eye detailing very clean. Mm-hmm. I do think she is a bit staring, but like I think if you tried any harder, it's going to.
Well, see,
it's not good.
See, also she is rising out of the water with like all of that stuff coming up, and it's sort of like, I am the water goddess.
Wow, 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 wow,
but
wow.
It does is Patrick's like
like a little yellow star.
I feel like it's like I've got a gold star sort of thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
this is no fault of your own, but I do find that star a bit out of place.
Do you?
I find like with everything else is very naturalistic, and that one star just makes it look like a Barbie doll, like you put stickers on her.
Yeah, that's what I felt. So maybe I should change the color.
No, you can't do much. It's just a sculpt.
No, I can paint it a different color.
Maybe a lighter pink, maybe just to I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Maybe a purple.
I'm not mad with it. Like it's fine. Yeah. It's just I just think the star is a bit weird because you've got two barnacles next to there as well, and it's too perfect. The positioning of the barnacle there and then the barnacle below. It really does look like some kid went in and like did a little sticker project with her skirt. It just it's a bit different from. I think it takes it away from the overall look of Bushido, that the style that they were going for. This is, again, not a fault of your own. It's a sculpt thing.
All right.
But, yeah.
And I think that's going to be it for us. So here's one of the big things that I want to say to you guys, folks. Look, Lance has done it. He's tried something new. And, he's progressed a lot over these few weeks, I think. And like if you think that I'm a good painter, some people think very much the opposite. But the thing is, if you think I'm a good painter, I make mistakes. And if you don't think I'm a good painter, Brushstroke talks about how he makes mistakes, right?
Yes.
And the thing is, it's all about realizing that things are a process. So take a look at how you make things. For example, Joe's piece earlier, right? Also, I think, Kerry, just keep on cracking. You'll get there. Mm-hmm. And you take a look at Joe's piece here, right? And you see how much of a process it is. And just remember that things take work. Lance, you outdid yourself this week, I think.
Yes.
And just remember that when it comes to this sort of thing, everybody's in the same sort of boat. It takes time, effort, patience, skill. So, guys, I'd like to say thank you to one and all of you for joining us. I'd like to say,
keep those brushes wet.
Bye-bye.